In the crises and uncertainties of today, our national parks speak with the wisdom of the past. For inspiration and guidance, we can look to these places where America's highest ideals are enshrined.
So we preserve Gettysburg for several reasons. One is it's the site of the biggest battle that's ever fought in North America. 51,000 men are killed, wounded, and captured. It's the largest number of casualties in any battle ever fought in North America.
This is one of America's sacred places. Gettysburg is one of the touchstones of the American experience.
So the war transforms America, literally like no other event has ever done in our history.
We are here to honor the dead, to recognize their courage and heroism, to mark this major event in American history.
The event itself is part of the reason we preserve this place, but the event meant something.
We are here also to reaffirm the principles that demanded such terrible sacrifice in the summer of 1863.
What does the event tell us about ourselves as a nation? Who we are, what we believe in, what we stand for.
What makes Gettysburg immortal and what makes Gettysburg relevant for people visiting today can really be found in that 10-sentence, very brief speech delivered by President Lincoln.
What Lincoln was doing is he was leading the nation to where he thought it needed to go.
To finish the great task before us so that these dead would not have died in vain.
So Lincoln's going to talk about what the war was about, why all these men were dying, that this could be a better nation, we could have a new birth of freedom.
President Lincoln's new birth of freedom was not a finite event. It was part of a process that continued long after the Civil War and which, to this day, requires our constant vigilance.
Lincoln helped define who we are right now, today, as Americans, what we believe in, what we think we've always stood for.
That speech that soothed the nation and set them on a path to finish the war and determine once and for all what kind of country we are going to have is still relevant today.
The brilliance and the timelessness of those words speak to every single battlefield in America.
It has become a universal speech because our country always deals with challenges. We always deal with things that we have to overcome.
So when we protect Gettysburg, and we protect the Gettysburg Address, we're protecting all of American history, because in keeping that alive, it helps us keep the rest of the history alive.
In the national parks, we learn about democracy, sacrifice, heroism, and hope, not in the abstract, but in the very places where those concepts shaped our history.
The Gettysburg Address really has relevance to every single national park site.
The national parks hold the places that are sacred to us as a people because they represent not only where we have been, but who we are and who we aspire to be.
We can never forget what they did here, and it's for us, the living, to keep this unfinished work going. So the Gettysburg Address is the mission of the National Park Service in finishing the great task before us.